maths is not fun? Well, I, Makwana Namraka, is here to show you that maths is just a fun challenge. It is as easy as y equals to mx plus c. And for those of you who didn't know, it is as easy as a straight line. So right now, it is the time for you to grab a paper, a pen, and a calculator and come learn maths with me.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Learn Maths with me on a hashtag Maths Tuesday. I really hope that each and every one of you is doing well, staying healthy, and this new third wave of COVID-19. But anyways, let's get straight into learning. In today's video, we are doing rules of fractions. So I'll basically be telling you the rules of fractions, and in the next video we will be doing examples on the rules that we have discussed today. So let's get straight into explaining the rules. So rule number one of fractions, we can see that here we have a multiplication sign, we have two fractions. So what we are seeing here is that like we are multiplying. So what does the rule say? It says when multiplying fractions, multiply the numerator first and then the denominators. First of all, let's identify which one is the numerator. The numerator is this one. Numerator. The numerator is the number that is above the division line. And then again, let's identify the denominator. What is the denominator? The denominator is the number below the division line. So here the condition says b is not 0, b is the denominator, and d is not 0, d is the denominator. Why are they saying that b and d are not zeros? This is because a number cannot be divided by 0. It will be said to be undefined. So basically this rule says that when we have two fractions and they are multiplying, two or more fractions rather, when they are multiplying, you first multiply the numerators and then multiply the denominators. So you're going to basically say a times c, which is ac, b times d, which is bd. Let's move on to the second rule. I really hope that you understand the first rule. If you have any questions on it, please do leave them in the comment section. Let's go to rule number 2. We can see that here it's something different. We have a division sign in between. We have two fractions and then it is being solved. So what is the explanation of this rule? The explanation says when dividing fractions, invert the fraction after the division sign. First, let's identify which fraction is after the division line. C over D is the fraction after the division line. So what are they saying? They are saying that you have to invert it. You must do what? You must turn it upside down, meaning that D now will be your numerator and C now will be your denominator. And then you don't only invert it. When you invert it, you change the sign. You change the division sign to multiplication sign. So let's just read the explanation again. The explanation says when dividing fractions, invert the fraction after the division sign and change the operation from division to multiplication. So let's practicalize it. So you're basically going to keep the fraction before the division sign. You're going to keep it a over b, and then now you change your division sign into multiplication sign. After you change it, you invert the fraction after it. So you're going to turn c over d upside down. We have turned it upside down, there it is. And then you multiply like you did in the first rule. A multiplied by d, AD, over B multiplied by C over BC. So I really hope that you understand this second rule. If you have any questions again, please do not be afraid to leave them in the comment section. So let's move on to rule number 3. So as you can see here, we are adding or subtracting. So this rule applies when you are adding or subtracting. So let's hear the explanation. Fractions can only be added or subtracted if the denominators are the same. So which are the denominators? The denominators are the numbers below the division sign. So which are the denominators here? The denominators are b. So here we can see that the denominators are the same, meaning that we can add or subtract the numerators. Oh yes. So when you're dealing with addition or subtraction, you don't tamper with the denominators. You just have to make sure that they are the same, and then you add or subtract the numerators. So let's continue with the explanation. Fractions can only be added or subtracted if the denominators are the same. Keep the denominator. They have kept the denominator. So if your denominators are the same, you keep one denominator and then add or subtract the numerators together. So basically, you're going to keep the denominator. So this denominator will be representing the numerators which are adding or subtracting each other. So you keep the denominator, and then you add or subtract your numerators. So as you can see, when we are multiplying, we multiply the numerators together, and then we multiply the denominators together. But when we are adding or subtracting, we don't tamper with the denominators. We just make sure that the denominators are the same, and if they are not the same, we're going to use methods like finding the LCD, and then if they are the same, you just add or subtract the numerators. I'll see you guys next week when we do examples of rules of fractions. So basically, we will be doing examples of questions where we'll be using these rules of fractions. I really hope that you understand a bit these rules of fractions, and that you are excited for next week's examples. Until the next time, you guys, bye.
If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and tell me in the comment sections which topic you'd like me to cover. And remember, I do not promise to know everything, but I do promise to share and help where I can.